Key stats, some milestones, I should say. For K-Max, 600 made threes, 10th player in WNBA history with 600-plus regular season made threes. She got to 600 in 326 games, third fastest in league history behind Taurasi and Katie Smith. And then Fee in a 4-game stretch, first player in league history to score more than 110 points and shoot 70.3%, so above 70%. So the only player to ever have done that in league history. Pretty impressive.
Well, I think talking game first makes sense with that in mind. On K-Mac, it felt like she really got going in the third quarter, then into the fourth quarter as well. Over this stretch, it feels like right out of the gates in the second half, you've been able to put a run together. I think, the opposing coach has called a frustration timeout within the first 2 to 3 minutes of the second half in each of these last 4 wins. Just what have the halftime adjustments in these last few wins been like, and just how productive have the halftime sessions been in these games?
Well, they're all different. I can speak to today's. We were very disappointed with our defense. Our second quarter was just horrendous. This is probably about as upset I've been since the first LA game out in LA. And so we challenged them. We showed them some stuff on video, and we just said, if we want to win, it's got to be, we got to be the best defensive team in the league today. We can't have spurts where we play great defense, and so that was our focus. And I thought that we responded in that way, and we're better throughout the second half. Not perfect, but definitely better.
And on defense, Maisha Hines-Allen playing every minute of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Just what was your impressions of her performance tonight, playing and getting for first sort of extended run in a game at home?
We needed her physicality, plain and simple. We needed her willingness to compete in the post, her willingness to compete for rebounds. Just really hard to play against. So we needed that, and then we did something that we didn't necessarily consider before, and we just moved Fee to the 3. And so, that lineup, to make sure that we were rebounding the basketball and providing the necessary length and help. Because our help in the second quarter was non-existent. We started standing around and letting them drive and got, 26 points in the paint in the first half, which is obviously a terrible number. But yeah, I think for Maisha, that's what that was about.
Speaking of Collier moving to the 3, it looked like she had really good success scoring, doing post-ups.
Yep.
Just what was your assessment of her playing at the 3 tonight?
I think she, in terms of finding the spots to dive in there and post up and want the basketball, I think we had players that were able, to pass her in good situations, and she, moved on the perimeter and, slashed. From whether it was in a ball screen, off ball, cuts. I thought she was active the entire game. So she was able to continue, honestly, the same stuff that she did at the 4, but she was able to do it at the 3.
And then Heidemann is just stringing together a few really good games. Yeah. What's your impression on kind of her hot streak right now?
Honestly, it may look like a hot streak, but this is more of who she's been in her career. And so this is a correction that we were hoping for her in particular, because it's been a difficult thing to go through, to be such a good shooter for your career and to be struggling mightily before the break. And so this is a welcomed correction. You're welcome.
Can you this team was playing its third game in 4 nights on the second half of back-to-back against a young team that hadn't played since Sunday. Mm-hmm. You guys jumped out, struggled a little bit in the second, but the grit that this team showed, I think, to maybe shake off what had to be some fatigue. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
I don't know. We didn't really talk about it. We didn't think about it. I don't think you can think about it. Maybe they were tired. I don't know. We just didn't have time for that, to be a mindset. We got to win our home games. And we knew, this weekend was a special weekend, not just the series with Vegas and how important we felt like that was in terms of who we want to be. And our, appropriate response to, beating a team and, kind of mimicking playoffs. And then just obviously the special nature of having our our legends back in the building for both nights. I think we all felt all of that. Obviously, the energy in the building last night and tonight was special. And I honestly don't think they thought about being tired. We tried to get players out that maybe looked like they were tired, but that was definitely not a narrative.
Biggest regular season crowd in franchise history.
You said second or biggest?
The regular season, biggest regular season, second overall. But is it? Do you think it's just coincidence that the number was 19,023?
There's very creative for the people that call attendance. I suspect it was not a coincidence. It probably has something to do with 23 in the rafters. Thanks, guys.